Rubber Soul by the Beatles was released on the 3rd of December 1965. The penultimate track on the album, If I Needed Someone, was written by George Harrison. On release, it was widely considered to be Harrison's best song to date. The Hollies covered the song, and issued it as a single on the same day as Rubber Soul.
If I had some more time to spend, then I guess I'd be with you, my friend.
Harrison, however, wasn't too thrilled about the cover, and his criticism of the Hollies' performance led to a terse exchange in the press between the two groups. Let's take a trip back to 1965 and see what it was all about. In December 1965, New Musical Express journalist Alan Smith traveled with the Beatles while they were touring the UK. The journalist spoke to George Harrison and asked him about the Hollies cover. The journalist wrote,
George was getting ready for the first house performance and I asked him about songwriting. I see you've written one for the Hollies. George turned sharply away from the mirror and bluntly said, tell people that I didn't write it for the Hollies. It's called If I Needed Someone and they've done it as their new single. But their version is not my kind of music. I think it's rubbish the way they've done it. They've spoilt it. The Hollies are all right musically. But the way they do their records, they sound like session men who've just got together in a studio without ever seeing each other before. Technically good, yes, but that's all.
A week later, Graham Nash responded to Harrison's comments. Graham Nash said, not only do these comments disappoint and hurt us, but we're sick and tired of everything the Beatles say or do being taken as law. The thing that hurt us the most was Harrison's knock at us as musicians. And I would like to ask this, if we have made such a disgusting mess of his brainchild song, will he give all the royalties from our record to charity? I'll tell you this much. We did this song against a lot of people's advice. We just felt that after 9 records, we could afford to do something like this without being accused of jumping on the Beatles bandwagon. We thought it was a good song, and still do. About that crack about us sounding like session men, I suppose he means we don't have any soul in our discs. Rubbish. We don't profess to be a soul R&B type group, and we never have. My opinion of the Beatles as a group hasn't changed. I still think they're great. And I'm not going to say anything stupid like I'm going to burn all their records in my collection. No, I like their music, but knocking comments like the one about us are a load of bollocks. A week later, the letters section of the New Musical Express was filled with readers commenting on the controversy. A reader called Mick Foxcroft wrote,
so George Harrison thinks that the Hollies cover of If I Needed Someone is rubbish. Comparing the two versions, I find that the drumming of Bobby Elliott is far better than that of Mr. Starr. And the Hollies' vocal harmony is superior to the Beatles.
A reader called Linda Marks commented,
how dare George Harrison run down the Hollies? The Hollies are a fantastic group with a great sound and they have made a great job of their new single.
A reader called Elaine Peters wrote,
although a Hollies fan, I must agree with Harrison's comments on their new disc. The Beatles put this song over with great sensitivity and meaning. But the Hollies version, it sounds as if it were recorded in Steptoe's backyard. The fact that they chose to record this at all is rather surprising as it is not their type of material.
The single stalled at number 20. This was seen as a major flop, especially considering that all the Hollies singles since mid-1963 had been top 10 hits. A month later, Beat Instrumental magazine interviewed the Hollies about their future plans and asked them about the controversy. Journalist Brian Clark wrote,
the controversy that surrounded their single, plus its slow progress up the charts, had the boys on tenterhooks, and they are going to make sure they look closely at what they choose to record in the future. Graham told me they don't just intend to hit with the next one, they plan to smash the charts in 2.
Graham Nash said, after the fuss and disappointment of the last one, we realized that the next one must do something really good. So we're going to launch a big attack on the charts. The next song we record as a single is going to be so strong that it'll split the top 10 in 2. We are determined to find a really strong number, and if it means waiting for months on end, we don't mind. But all that waiting might not be necessary. The right one might even come along tomorrow. Graham Nash was right. Their following single, Can't Let Go, reached number 2 in the chart.